Alrighty, well, good evening, everybody. We have a special show tonight. Great things have been happening throughout the world right now. We will be getting into topics a little bit later about when life breaks you. And it does, what the latest news has been going actually on in the world, does deal with this topic. So, Eva, did you hear about Colorado?
Yes, I did. And I was so saddened by the whole thing. It, as well as outraged me. Again, attacks on the marginal communities, the Jews, the LBG. I'm not going to get all the
LGBT.
I got half of it. Does that count?
Yes.
And I can't remember what there were three of them that they mentioned, and Latinos. I just get very upset about it because it's like, why? What makes it so hated? Why is there so much hatred? And it just appalls me. And I don't know, did you hear about the attack on some Jews on a Jewish synagogue in New York?
No, I didn't hear about that at all. I was trying to look it up earlier today. You sent the messages to me, but I didn't see much about that.
I don't think he got very far, which is probably why, and no one was hurt, no one was, but still, it was an attack on a Jewish synagogue. Gosh. And I don't know, you lived in Port Huron for a while, did you not?
No, I used to go to Port Huron quite a bit, actually, as a child.
Okay, you probably don't remember this, but it was in Port Huron, which is a small community at the base of the thumb, just north of Detroit. And they do have, or did have, I don't know if they still do, they did have a Jewish temple or synagogue. It's the difference between a church and a basilica, and I can't remember which one is the bigger. Anyway, somebody went around and spray painted Nazi symbols all over it.
That is so stupid.
I know, and this was back in, I believe it was in the early, or no, would be the mid 70s. I had to stop and think. Okay. And it's like, this has been going on for how long?
Yeah, and this again though, sort of goes a couple episodes back though that we talked about, which was actually to do with the gun law, to do with the states, right? Now for the thing that actually happened in Spring, Colorado, it was a 22-year-old male that caused this. He went into a LGBT nightclub, so that was really highly recommended actually within the Colorado area for Spring, Colorado. Anyway, so the guy went in there roughly at midnight. And I don't know what triggered it. It's still an ongoing case. But what had happened, though, is he shot approximately 18 people. 5 of them were actually officially shot. They were killed. 18 people were actually taken to 3 different hospitals within that area. Now, again, the shooter was actually roughly 22 years old. But the good question, though, is where did he get the gun from? That's the big question.
Well, that was one of the things that was brought up in one of the news reports, in the fact that he was over 21, he could easily get all these guns wherever he wanted. And it's like, there are big gun shows all over the place. And I don't have anything against guns. I live in the country. You do hunt, you have guns. They're there, they're easy to access, and they don't do the gun checks. And it's like, We are so stupid over here when it comes to stuff like that. And I'm
Thank
sorry,
you.
but the NRA, as well as I'm drawing a complete blank of one of the gun manufacturers, are all against all the things that would help to take care of these gun problems.
Yeah.
You know, like regulations and all kinds of things. And it just, excuse me, but it just pisses me off.
Yeah.
And this is what we get.
Yeah.
People who walk into a community and just start shooting.
Without really anything.
It's like,
Right. So going back to the Jewish community, what actually happened to the Jewish community?
there wasn't a lot on the news, but apparently what happened was there was someone who had, I believe they had a couple of grenades as well as guns, and was heading towards the synagogue, and someone alert caught him. So I don't know if anything happened otherwise, but it looks like there were only 2 people who were wounded, I think, from what they were saying on the news. And again, it's just a matter of people getting all this stuff and carrying out their hate.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, gosh, I thought this world was supposed to be peace, love. But what's going on with that? I think that goes with somebody that's trying to run for election that we were talking about on Friday night. That's causing it all.
I'm biting my tongue. I have to.
It's like that. So, but down below, for those that are watching this episode or even want to watch back actually on the replay, down below there's a link actually for the Colorado shooting. There is a major fundraising going actually on. If you go down below, there is a website. Highlight that website, take that, drag it into the IP address area, and that way you guys can help out. All right. Even if you're in Canada, it doesn't matter if you're in Canada, if you're in the States, or if you're overseas.
Okay, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
In Canada, how easy it would, let's try that again. How easy would it be for you to walk in and buy a gun?
It's very, very hard. It is very hard in Canada to get a gun. You got to go so much through paperwork there. You have to go through tests. And we do not carry it actually in Kmart, Walmart, or even Target for displays that actually have guns. That's how it is in Canada. Canada, though, most people look actually at us Canadians, though, and say, okay, that's the best place to go to because of that incident. Canada, though,
Yeah,
is
if things get worse here, I'm coming to Canada.
Well, again, those like I said on Friday.
I know the invitation's open.
Yeah, but don't forget you have to get used to ketchup chips.
Yep. And I'll have to learn how to talk with a don't you know.
Is that how my cousin even talks to you?
Pardon?
Is that how my cousin talks to you?
Not quite like that, but she does have the I'm just trying to think of one schedule type thing.
Okay.
Just a few little words here and there, and but it just amuses me a little bit. I like listening to her talk. One of my friends in high school, her name was Pat Gadori, and Mrs. Gadori was from Canada, and she did have that French Canadian accent. I just love sitting and listening to her. She's such a dear, such a dear. But
so we have Chrissy. Just let you know, Chrissy's actually in tonight.
Hello, Chrissy. You mentioned, aren't we a world of peace and love? And years and years ago, now I'm going to tell some stories on here, story about me on here. I lived on a commune for a while. Back when I was part of the hippie movement, peace, love, and make love, not war. And the commune that I lived on was open for anyone who wanted to join. It was not just whatever. And there were I think there was like 3 or 4 couples, same-sex couples. And there were also, you know, people just living together, having kids, the whole ball of wax, the whole hippie thing. And, you know, there really was love and peace and harmony. And it's like, this is the way it's supposed to be, and we're going to win. Well, we're still working on it, unfortunately. But I remember those times, and it's like, what happened?
Yeah.
How did we get to this? I'm sorry. I just.
Well, it's true. It's true though, because so much has changed with over the years. There is more hatred out there. Hatred is rolling over top of everything, right? And
Okay.
go ahead. No, go ahead.
Okay, my next question is then, is there the same hatred prevailing in other countries?
Here in Canada, there, like most people in the States think that us Canadians are very, very friendly. Yes, we are friendly. But the thing though is, right when you come down to certain things, right, you gotta sort of watch it though, especially with talking. You can't really talk politics with people. You can't really talk about religion because there are actually different beliefs out there. Just like Christmas. Christmas, though, technically is a Christian holiday. It's not a pagan holiday. All right. So things actually, it depends on how you actually say things here in Canada. Can totally sort of offend people, but people will be like turn around, smile, and say, "Hey, blah blah blah." But other countries, though, it's a good question though. Besides Canada and the States, I really wonder about that.
You know, I guess you don't really see that much in any of the news feeds that I've been to that would talk about their own country and how they, if there is a hate thing. Now, I think it's France. I know there's a lot of prejudice against any of the Middle Easterners that have immigrated or migrated or whatever it is to France from some of these countries in the Middle East that are very, what's the word I'm looking for? They're very, very conservative Muslims.
Yeah.
And there are many people who have escaped that. And in France, there's a lot of prejudice that way. And one of the big things they did about 3-4 years ago is banned the hijab, the headscarf. Okay. And it was not fueled by anything but hatred, because it's like, we don't want, if you're going to be part of us, you've got to do this. You can't be that type thing. It's like, so yeah, I'm sure there is, but to the degree that we have here in the States, I don't know.
Yeah.
As for the holiday, the wishing, I always say happy holidays because I have Jewish friends and I have pagan friends. I have a Shinto friends and I have Buddhist friends, and they all have holidays within this same period. So I say happy holidays. I'm not going to be offensive to anyone.
That's the best way to go. That's the best way to go. For the 4 people who are actually online right now, if you guys want to type in your questions, go ahead. Eva and I were also here to do readings besides actually talk tonight. So you guys can send any questions to us. I see 5 of you guys are actually there. So again, feel free to type in your questions live here actually online. If you guys want to contribute with the conversation that we're having, go ahead, type it in. We'd love to hear from you. So a lot of things actually have been going around, especially when the world's going to break. Yeah. And these are some fine examples. So sort of like what Eva was saying, though, is the Jewish community, what has actually happened in there. Colorado with the shooting, as just racing happened. You were saying though it's close to a certain date. You want to explain to people what you were asking about
In regards,
for Florida? In Florida,
the one that happened about 6 years ago.
Yeah.
In a gay club, and I think somebody went in and shot the place up, and I think 6 people were killed, and it was purely a hate crime.
Yeah, it was actually a higher number.
Oh, I didn't realize. I tells you how out of it I am.
It's okay.
And the sad part is, the guy wanted to get rid of all the gays because they're against God. Like,
yeah.
What? And it's like, we don't bring religion into this because it has nothing to do with it, as far as I'm concerned. You are what you are.
Yes, so true, so true. It love all accept all. That's the best way how to live your mind.
I graduated in a class of 67 people. Well, that's not a big class, but out here in the country, that's getting a little bigger. Anyway, in my class, there were 3 men who were gay.
Yeah.
2 women who were, no, 1 woman who was lesbian, and we even had a transgender. I liked them all. They were all, I knew these people. Big deal.
Yeah.
Big deal. And like I said, I was part of the hippie movement, peace, love, and harmony. And I think that's where I really developed my ability, my feelings that you are what you are. You can't change it. And love the person for who they are. That's the message I would say. Just love. And besides, if you look at the Bible, Christ said, all are welcome to my table.
Yeah.
He didn't distinguish. He said, all are welcome at my table.
Yeah.
Put that in your pipe.
Going with that there, there are cults out there. Sorry for saying it's cults, but though that are saying, no, you can't come to our building. Right, and it's like, okay, well, what does the book say? And they're saying, oh, it says so you can't come in, blah blah blah. It's like, no, it doesn't say that. So it's like, all right, so let's get some readings going. Let's do one for Chrissy.
Let's lighten this up a little.
Let's get some readings for Chrissy. All right, Chrissy would like probably a general reading.
A what?
A general reading about her and Damien.
Damien?
Yes, her son.
Her son, yes.
Yeah.
See, I do remember things in my old age.
You're not old, girl. You're still young.
Oh.
Your mom's still young, even at 92.
Well, this one of my mom's friends, 97, and another one is 94. So it's like, okay, and they're all still driving.
Yeah. It's like that's up. All right. So I'll start off with, since Eva's still doing the cards, Chrissy. So I'm using the native spirit cards tonight for you. The first card I got though is Ancestors. All right, so right there, Ancestors. It's basically saying that your ancestors are with you, actually, especially at this time, and also with Damien. So look towards the sleeping giant. I don't know if you can see it from your backyard or whatever, but look towards the sleeping giant and say, thank you very much, ancestors, for being there with me. Now, the next one I got those, and this is going to be with you and your sister. So it's a peace pipe. All right. So the peace pipe is upside down. Usually, most people think the peace pipe, though, is actually for negative, but the thing, though, is there has to be a little bit more peace actually all together with you guys. There are going to be times so that you guys are going to complain about things, but still be there for each other, show your love, and just say, hey, yeah, I would like some peace. If you like some peace, just leave for a little bit, come back. The next one I got for you, though, is Nature Spirit. So since Thunder Bay actually is really beautiful, actually for the nature up there, especially your side actually of Thunder Bay. All right. Probably the best thing to do though, is since you guys are getting some snow, go for a walk with Damien, take him actually in a sled, pull him around. That way you guys are connecting, and also just try to teach him more to do with the seasons of winter. Teach him about some of the atmospheres, about the trees, why the trees aren't blooming, why the trees have no leaves. Explain stuff like that to him. Now, the great one, though, the last one, though, I did pick out for you is flowing river. All right. So since you are sort of actually over that side, right where the river does go actually in between the res and also the mainland, there's going to be times so that the river is going to go a little bit more flowing than anything. Now, what I mean by flowing, though, it's going to be actually holding a lot more energy. So basically, though, is water is actually calling out for you within the positive way. All right, Eva, go ahead.
Okay, the 4 cards I drew, the 10 of cups, the 7 of swords, 5 of cups, and the 8 of coins. 8? Yeah, 8 of coins. I thought I said that wrong, but I guess I didn't. The 10 of cups tells me 2 things. It's a very happy card, family rejoicing together. And it kind of goes along with what the first card that Chris drew, and harmony between the family, within the family. It's time to either take that step and go for it, or to at least extend a hand out, the peace pipe, and to I don't want to say let bygones be bygones, but put it aside. Like the 2 children dancing, they have no cares. Be like the 2 children. The 7 of swords. This one is often referred to as the thief in the night type thing. And it's like, well, first of all, it's not night. And he may not be stealing those swords. He may be taking back what is rightfully his. And I prefer to think of it the second way, in that you, within a very short while, will be getting something back that you thought had been taken from you. And I'm not sure if it's a family idea, a job idea. I'm just not sure. But whatever it is, it'll make you happy. The 5 of cups, you can take that a lot of different ways. You'll notice that there are 3 cups that are spilling out all their stuff, and 2 cups that are still standing kind of in the background there. And the thing that gets me about that is in the background, there's a little bridge. I don't know if you can see it. I'm going to try and get it in a little closer.
Yeah, you got that close.
Bridge. And that's the first thing that drew my attention, was the little bridge. So it's like, again, it kind of goes along with the swords. And the cups. Let some of these things go, and don't dwell on them. Let them go. I'm not saying that you should let everything be erased. That's not it. What it's saying is work with it to overcome it. That's what the bridge is about. Leave it on the other side of the river and go to the good side. The song that went through my mind was Ferry Cross the Mercy. If you ever take a chance to listen to that song, it'll kind of explain what I'm trying to say. And then there's the last card, the 8 of coins. And the thing is, this is something you're going to have to work at. But when you get done, you'll be so much richer. You'll have a depth in your relationship, and it will shine for your son. and he will learn the lessons of forgiveness, the lessons of acceptance, the lessons of moving on, letting go. Like my one teacher always said, let go and let God. And sometimes God, I always say God watches over us. Most of the time he kind of lets us do what we want. Occasionally he sends an angel to kind of knock us back on our path if we get a little off. But sometimes God will lift you up by the scruff of your neck and move you into another situation. And you got to learn to work with it because it's a blessing. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So I don't know if the moderator wants to pop on, but there is a message there from Cheryl.
Yes, we do have another question in chat, and this one is from Cheryl. Cheryl is asking what the cards have for her family. She is very interested to see if there's any messages that resonates with her grandson's current situation.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Cheryl. Yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick look and see what we're getting from those all together. I'm going to use a different type of decks for you tonight. I'm going to be using called gray cards, which are Keeper of the Light. And what cards are you using tonight, Eva?
I'm just using my standard universal weight.
Okay.
My sister was here this weekend, and Mother has been decluttering. I was going through the front closet, and I was in here working on the computer, and all of a sudden I hear, holy blank, blank, blank. And I'm like, oh dear, what did she find? I forgot that in the front closet, I have 3 bins of tarot decks.
Okay.
I probably should go through and see if any of them I could use.
Yeah. So again, let's get back to Cheryl. So Cheryl wants to know about her grandson. I'll let you lead.
Give me a second.
Yep.
Oh, the Chariot. Give me a second. Okay, the first card that I drew was the Chariot. There we go. Second card was the sword, the 7 of Swords. Again, oh, that's interesting. The 4 of Coins, which I really love. That card, it looks kind of like a mean card, but it's not. And the last card was the 10 of Wands. And the question was about her grandson,
Yeah.
her son.
Her grandson.
And what was the idea with the grandson again?
Moderator?
Just that she wants to understand what's happening with the grandson's current situation.
Well, again, he has been given an opportunity. Or opportunities are coming his way. I'm sorry. That would be the 10 of clubs. The idea is he ready to accept these opportunities as that, or is he looking at him more as a burden? Tell him to really be aware of everything that's going on around him. And there will be some situations that kind of come up, and be careful of the people around you. They're going to use you. They're going to give him, take some stuff from him that they shouldn't. And that is about all that I'm picking up. There's some great opportunities coming his way, and he has a chance to take them. And he should. But just be aware that there will be burdens with that. like the man in the chariot, he leads the army, but it requires a great deal of understanding of the situations, understanding the people around him. Just beware and just be careful. I just get that there are people who are going to try and take advantage of him. And that's about it.
Okay. All right. So Cheryl, I actually did 4 cards actually of the one deck of Call Gray, which is Keeper of the Light, and then also did 1 card actually of the Name Spirit card. So the first card that I drew for you is Focus actually Intention. It's the first one. All right. Now with Focus Intention, though, that one there is basically though is think about what you desire. Set your sights high. Expect the best possible outcome. Okay, so again, no, that was actually the focus one, right? So again, no, that's what you need. What needs to be going actually on those focus. Okay, there's so much distractions around him right now, but he needs to focus actually on the right way. Now, the next one that I got those is Awaken. All right, so right there is Awaken for you. That one there is basically representing though the universe is with him. And it's basically wear a cloak actually of protection and love. So that's what he needs to do. And that's sort of what Eva was sort of saying those is with the love and the protection around him. The next one I got though is Focusing Fear. Okay. All right, so focus and fear. There's always going to be fear around us, but we need to always focus it. This one here is a major spiritual change is actually unfolding. This is a chance actually for him to soar. So I know that's for that one there. Now the first one though I did that basically right when I was shuffling though that popped out right when I was shuffling them. All right, this one is Divine Healer. Honor the she best in the healing that's all around him. So Divine Healer. The very first, and then with the other deck though that actually I just did one is Storyteller. All right, so it's best off to share out the information. That way everything's guiding within the right direction for him. That's the best thing to do. All right, so I hope those actually helped you out, Cheryl. But yeah. All right. All right, and she basically typed back for you. Thanks so much, Eva.
I'm sorry?
She typed back and said, "Thank you, Eva."
You're very welcome. I'm glad if I can help.
Yeah. All right, so that's what she typed back. Again, those if there's anybody else actually online, since I do see people online, type in your question. Eva and I were both here for you. Now, going back sort of to do with the news about when life can break you, have you experienced anything of your life?
Oh,
yeah, I
have.
have.
Several times. I mean, you would think having been on this earth as long as I have, and I'm not trying to play the age card, believe me, but when you've been around as long as I have, and you experiencing things and you think there's nothing that could do that to me again, and then it does. And I would have to say the latest one that did break me is I was engaged and the gentleman died.
Yeah.
And that just did it. It's taken me about 4 years to get over it. And at that time, during that time, you would have to say I was a broken person.
Yeah. So, yeah, with myself, though, I've gone through a lot within my life, right? And like I suffer from mental health, big time. But I don't say, hey, yeah. I don't go up to people and say, hey, yeah, my name is such and such. I've got mental health. I'm not like that. I try to hide it and everything else. But what has happened in the past, though, is I moved back actually from London, and things have actually happened. And then just recently, though, with our family, my mother's been in the hospital. She's been in the hospital for over a week.
How's she doing?
Mom's doing okay. She's doing better.
Good.
But she's got to get up there and start walking. But right when I was first of all in the hospital, and Trevor was there, we got into a merge, both of us, and saw Mom, and I almost started breaking down crying. Now, for those that don't know, I'm the baby of the family, and lately I've been more connected with my father than anything. Is basically because of certain stuff. Plus, also being more connected with my cousin in California. So, hey, Tatiana. So yeah. So we've been actually more connected nowadays. Things. With the way I look at life, though, things might break you, but how can you take that breakage and make it more positive? That's the best way how to do it. So, and then with the shooting today, most people will know this gentleman. His name is Christopher. He's been seen actually on a lot of ghost shows, actually as an expert. He messaged Trevor and myself today about the shooting that's actually in Colorado, because he lives down there. I don't know how close he lives to the shootings, but he messaged Trevor and myself and to let us know. So, but yeah, I've been trying to follow it closely and everything else. So yeah, again, if anybody has any questions, feel free to type them in. We'd love to hear from you. I see that there's 5 people all together, so please type it in. We'd love to hear from you. Eva and I were here for another 15 more minutes, if so. All depends about your readings.
You know, you talk about being broke. This was about 2-3 years ago. And I can't remember what it was that was instigating it, but all of a sudden I felt, how can I say this? I had no beliefs. Really upset me. And I happened to talk with a very spiritual man. And one of the things he said is, take this and learn from it. Because when you come out on the other end, what broke you will mend you, heal you, and make you stronger. And it did. And I would say that to anyone, take what has happened and learn from it. If nothing else, you will come out stronger.
Yeah. All right, we're going to do those. We're going to take a couple minutes break, and we'll be right back.
He mentioned publicly that he liked the shows on T&E. We were thrilled that he came on board for Hotel Paranormal.
Well, we approached T&E. We knew that T&E had such a great success with the more sort of straight paranormal, ghost hunting, haunting genre.
And I am the founder of Spectrum Paranormal Investigations here in the UK. Also a television presenter on Paranormal Captured and The World's Most Unexplained as well.
And he's the one that told my mother the story of Bathsheba. So for Lorraine Warren to just pluck that out of nowhere was fascinating.
There's a funny fat man in a silly red suit stuck in the smoke hole of our teepee.
As kids, they told us to follow our dreams. But the minute we started chasing them, they told us we were being unrealistic. Told us to think about our future. Said it was too late for us. And passions don't pay bills. But what they didn't know is that dreamers make their own victory.
Alrighty, so we're back. Eva was just singing some wonderful songs. One of them, actually, the first one, it's pretty true. It's exactly what we're discussing tonight, and it's when life breaks you. So, what was the name of the song again?
The song is called National Brotherhood Week, and it's by Tom Lear, who is kind of a comedian, satirist, whatever you want to call him. He was on a show called That Was the Week That Was, which was way back at the primitive 1960s. And he wrote a lot of satire. And the one is called National Brotherhood Week. And it's funny, but when you start looking at the words, it's what's happening right now. And that's not funny.
No. So exactly right when you were kind of singing the song to me while we were actually on commercial break. Yeah, it's true though, especially for the portion though that you left off on. And it's true though, because a lot of people don't look at you at that multiple people in the right way. It's just like even with. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, it's also do with the Black community or even with the Indigenous community.
One of my friends knew a woman, a couple. They were a Black couple, and their daughter married an Asian, which just upset them terribly. And they had a big Christian wedding here in the States, but the son-in-law wanted to do a traditional Shinto wedding, which is in Japan.
Yeah.
The mother refused to go. It was pagan. I'm like, oh, geez. So prejudice and hate doesn't just happen in the white community. It happens everywhere.
It happens everywhere. Yes, it does. It does. It's like, so. Yeah, that's one thing though that has to be really worked on with a lot of people though is judgment, and also whenever the world's going to break you, you can learn exactly how to mend yourself and be able to move on.
You know me and my aliens.
Yeah.
My friendly aliens, they live out in the West Cornfield over there. It just plays in my mind. What happens if the Vulcans actually land? How are we going to deal with the Vulcans? Live long and prosper. It just goes through my mind.
It's like I love it. I love it. It's like, gosh. So, but yeah. So let's just do a general reading before we close off. Okay. See what's going to go actually on for this week.
Oh.
Again, those join us live every single Sunday. We're here pretty much Sundays, actually at 7 o'clock. Over Christmas, though, we will not be live because we're going to be busy with our own family events. And also, I'll say to you, since it is Thursday coming up, happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Thank you.
No problem. And that goes out to everybody. That goes out to everybody in the States.
Thank you. Okay, I got judgment. Did you want me to go first or did you want to go first?
Go right ahead.
I got judgment, 10 of coins, 9 of swords, 9 of swords. I keep wanting to say Swords, you know,
Schwartz.
Schwartz, and the Empress.
Yeah.
And that one doesn't show her pregnant. Usually she's shown pregnant. I don't know why. And it's like 4 cards, and the 2 end cards are the 2 major arcana. And I keep getting that there's going to be some kind of announcement, some big something that's happening this week. Excuse me.
To jail? Is he going to jail?
One can only hope. And then the 2 center cards are the 10 and the 9, the 10 of coins and the 9 of swords. And it's like, I know this looks really, really, really bad. The 10 of, or the 9 of swords. But it's like no more I always think of this one as no more crying in the night, or crying in the night. But in this case, no more crying in the night, because whatever is going to happen, it's going to be a good thing. But it's like one incident is going to happen at the beginning of the week, and something is going to happen at the end of the week. And it's going to all come together, and it's going to be a good thing. Some good things are going to happen this week. But I don't know what, and it could be from the political arena, or it could be something entirely different. That's all I'm picking up.
Okay.
It's a quick read.
All right. So I just did four cards, and those are with the Native Spirit cards. First one I got those is Elder. Gotta get one there. So there's Elder there. Next one I got those an upside down one. This is actually Spirit of the Water. The next one actually I got off that one though is it's an upside down card, and it is Dream Traveler. So again, a Dream Traveler, and it's upside down card. Now the upright card is Spirit Keeper of the West. Okay. So what I'm basically getting actually out of these ones though, with the first one though, since it is an elder one, is your elders are going to be with you throughout this week. Give more thanks to them. Let them be able to teach you within the right way though that they've actually been taught throughout generation, not with the newer times. The water upside down one though is, since it is starting to get more cold and more freezing right now within that snow that's hitting actually Michigan and also Buffalo, even though that we didn't get much actually here in the Marley region.
Lucky you.
Yes. So basically, Spirit of the Water though is, don't worry, water's still always flowing. It's always going to be connecting with energy. It's always going to flow. Even if chalk freezes, don't worry, it's still flowing with that energy. Dream Traveler. All right. Since Christmas is coming up right now, and the holidays for Thanksgiving is coming up, people are wanting to get away. But always, if you can't get away with your family, imagine yourself with your family. Okay. So again, notice if you can't get away with your family, think about your family this during Thursday. Spirit Keeper of the West. All right, the West is the way the storms are usually coming nowadays, is actually from the West. But the spirits from the West are trying to give us messages, positive messages. We need to listen to them, sort of like our elders. So those are the messages from us. Again, for those that are interested, underneath the link down below, there is a website for you to copy in your IP address. Help out with donations. This is for the shooting, so it just took place last night, actually in Colorado. But always remember, and I love the way that my grandmother used to always say, if you're pointing a finger, how many fingers are pointing back at you? Don't judge somebody, because you're judging yourself 3 times harder.
Oh, I have to say, you were saying your card was the Dream Spirit?
Yep. Dream Traveler.
Okay, the first thing that went through my mind was Dreamweaver, the song.
Yes.
I have a song for everything. You know that.
Yes, I do. So,
I don't know if Trevor would like it, but when we talk, sometimes I'd like to bring up the music in the background.
but
My
unfortunately, we
bad.
can't because of the copyright. We can't play it. Yeah. But Cheryl actually has a message here for you.
Okay.
All right. So the message before we hang up, though, is Happy Thanksgiving, Eva. And you are blessed. You are blessed. I love listening to your stories about your life.
They're just my life. They're not really, I'm not anything exciting.
So yeah, those are from her. Anyway, so you guys have a wonderful night. We will see you guys live here next week, next Sunday at 7 o'clock with great topics. Again, though, is show your neighbors or show somebody else on the street so that you care. From me and myself, you guys have a wonderful night. We will talk to you guys later.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Take care, everyone.